Why aren't you getting the results you really want yet? People ask me all the time, hey, Cappy, does hypnotherapy and mindset training really work? And that's what I want to talk to you about in today's video. So stay tuned. If you really want to get new outcomes, you need to train yourself right here to actually get the new outcomes. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Cappi Pidwell. I'm a master of NLP, neuro linguistic programming, and a master hypnotherapist. And I help business professionals double, triple, and quadruple their results and income. What I find is that people think that hypnotherapy or mindset training is some magical pill or a one and done session where you can just go in and go. It does not work like that. It is training, just like you need to train your body and go to the gym consistently and work out and eat right and create new habits. Mindset training is very similar. People have limiting beliefs about themselves. They have limiting beliefs about money. They have inner insecurities. They have self doubt. They have fear. They have all kinds of inner emotions. I call it the emotional warehouse. And yet they say, does it work? Well, it works if you work it. There's nothing that's just going to happen for you in 1 hour that all of a sudden you're just this new person. So let's get rid of that misconception right away. And I want to tell you a quick story about this. I was at an event about a week ago, and there was this gentleman there that did 2 sessions with me a few years ago. And I didn't recognize him. I deal with a lot of people. But of course, he was like, Cappy, I did these 2 sessions with you a few years ago. So he says, and this is the topic of this video, does it really work? He said, well, it didn't work. And I said, really? Okay, well, did you listen to the sessions? And he says, well, I didn't really get a chance to put them in like you told me, but I listened a few times. Okay, well, part of the instruction is to listen to the session for 2 weeks in a row, then listen to the next session for 2 weeks in a row, and then go back to the first session. Then he tells me, as we're sitting there, he says, well, I love wine and I do this and this and this. So I'd have a bottle of wine, a bottle. I'd have a bottle of wine and then I'd go listen to it and I'd pass out. Well, in my intake, I also asked the question, how often do you drink? Is it daily, weekly, monthly, never, whatever? But do not do this while you have any kind of altered consciousness. And that can include alcohol or marijuana or pills or whatever. So if people are on, let's say, prescription pills or something, I say do the session in the morning. So I find it funny that the question of mindset training is, does it work? When in reality, your mind is already trained to have doubt. Your mind is already trained in habitual patterns of thought. Everything begins within you. You have a frequent feeling that you operate in every day, whether that's anxiety or stress, or maybe you're just flat and numb. Maybe you're happy and excited all the time, or you're an enthusiast. Everybody has their own vibe, so to speak. But what goes along with that emotional vibe is the thought process. So I want to also share today, I did a coaching call with my group class on people's money mindset. And here on YouTube, I have lots of videos on it. So if you need to upgrade your money mindset, go check out some of my other videos. But I want to talk to you about the importance of this money mindset in your business, in your growth, getting what you want, which usually includes a sense of freedom. It includes more success, more clients, more opportunities, more great outcomes. I was on this coaching call today and we got into the topic of money and I started asking people questions about their money mindset. And I'm going to encourage you watching this right now, asking yourself good questions produces really powerful insights for yourself. So the analogy I gave in my coaching call, which I'm going to show you today, is it's almost like here's your mind, okay, and you have these beliefs that are hidden. I'm using this as a tool. You have this belief that's hidden, right? And then all of a sudden you ask yourself a question and then you get the answer because it's already in you, right? So then the answer comes up and now you have an awareness. So here's the fear or the block or the limitation. So I could say, how much money do you believe you can make in the next 90 days? And then the answer pops up into their awareness, into their consciousness. And they go, here's my belief. This is what I believe. So if you don't know what you believe, if you don't know what you hold, if you don't know those limitations that are driving your daily decisions in your business and in your life, it's very hard to create the change. And this is what so many people are trying to do. They're getting all this logical work or conscious coaching to say, make so many calls every day, hustle harder, pound the pavement, all the things we've heard in sales for years and years and years, overcome people's objections. All the tools and things are very logical based, but people aren't teaching you or telling you or showing you what's the hidden limiting belief behind the action you're supposed to take. If somebody says go make 100 more phone calls, but this hidden belief behind here says, I hate phone calls. No one wants to talk to me. I don't want to bug people. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, that's what I believe about it. No wonder why you don't want to take the action. And that's a perfect metaphor. So until you discover what beliefs you're holding about the task, especially about money, that was the conversation today. So those questions that I dig into in people's money mindset, people have never been asked those questions, and they've certainly never asked themselves the question, what do I believe about money? First of all, do you believe it's easy? Do you believe it's hard? Do you believe it's evil? Do you believe it's good? It's different for everybody. There's no right or wrong answer. It's your answer. The answer's within you, right? Then my second question in that call was, what is your familiar, comfortable feeling and amount of money you make every year? And I would ask you the same question because I guarantee you it's a similar number for you every year that you make in your bank account. Yeah. Doesn't matter what you do, you change jobs, you get moved to a different place, whatever, that bank account and that money stays the same because your belief. Then I said, what number, what amount of money makes you feel like wow or uncomfortable or that would be hard for me? Write that number down. And then they did. And then we had a conversation about it. But what happens is that number is just a number, right? It doesn't matter what the number is, but it's what's the belief behind the number. So I hope you get that. So if you're somebody who says, it doesn't work, why am I not where I want to be yet? I promise you, your subconscious is driving all the decisions you make all day. It holds the beliefs, if you will. It's kind of like if you go to your garage or a storage unit and it's full of boxes and it has a ton of stuff in there, and then you want to put more stuff in there, but there's no room. That's often how I think of the subconscious. You have a lot going on inside of you. And sometimes we have to clean out the old beliefs, clear out that clutter, get rid of some of that stuff in order to put a new belief or a new suggestion in there. And it's why I love hypnotherapy so much. That rewiring process is through you closing your eyes, starting to tune into your inside world of you, which is where all the wisdom lives, where all change happens, by the way. Then having someone like myself facilitate that new information, that new data. I call it the daily drip when I make people sessions or they do my programs, because we're dripping new data into the subconscious as you're going to sleep so that you begin to feel it real. You begin to embrace and hold the energy, the beliefs, embody the new information. If somebody is so stacked with old information, like this guy that said it didn't work, well, he didn't work it. You can't pour a bottle of wine down your body every single night, pop something in and think it's going to create the change. It doesn't work like that. You have to do the work. So behaviors should change, saying it didn't work for my business because you listened 2 or 3 times. So no, it takes repetition. It takes awareness. It takes the conscious coaching conversations, the digging in and exploring in your consciousness, in your emotional warehouse, in your beliefs about stuff in order to start to say, okay, wow, this is my limiting belief. Now what do I do with it? And then that's where I come in. But if you don't even have the awareness in the first place, very hard to change the limiting belief. So yes, it works. You got to work it. And here's what I look for in a client. I look for somebody who is coachable, who has tried a lot of other things but hasn't gotten the change that they're seeking or the money that they want or the outcomes that they're seeking. And then I help them dig deep within, make products, go into my coaching program with the products and the coaching and the sessions. It's a process, though. It doesn't happen in one session. It happens through a process of transformation, personal integration. And that's different than working in the logical mind and saying, go make 100 calls. Yeah, that's really great. But who's addressing the inner game? Who's addressing those inner emotions, those feelings, that stuck point, that, ugh, I don't even want to do that, right? That would be me. So if you're somebody who wants to get new results in your business and in your income, you can book a mindset strategy call with me. They are free right now. My calendar is limited. You can click the link below. We'll hop on a Zoom for 30 minutes to see if my coaching is a good fit for you for the outcomes that you want. I'll leave you with some good information, but they are to see if you qualify for coaching with me. I have a group program and I have a one-on-one. So just depending on where you are. Book a call. If you have any comments on my channel here about your mindset, or you have an obstacle or a challenge or something that you haven't been able to break through, write it in the comment. Just say, Cappi, I want to break through in whatever. And then I will do my best to answer your comment, connect with you, and give you a solution for that. So hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.